So let's get talking a bit about why you would get into coding and how you get started coding with Python, and specifically, since that's what we're doing here. So, I mean, why does someone learn to code? Really, it's because of what you can do with code. It's not that I have a complete and utter fascination with this weird syntax and these strange commands, but
well, maybe a little.
It's what I can do with the commands that makes it powerful.
Yep.
And really what it is, it's problem solving. Coding is just problem solving. That's the basic premise of what we're trying to do. So really, it comes down to what do you want to do? Whatever you want to do, whatever field you're entering or working in, coding can affect and help it.
Yep.
I've seen it in healthcare. I've seen it in physiotherapy. I have seen it in entertainment industry, sports, everything. There's not a field out there that isn't touched on by technology. So whether you want to build a phone app to help you find directions to the nearest coffee shop if you need that coffee, Christopher.
You're going to notice a caffeine theme here today.
Whether you want to calculate how much money you need to buy a car. You know, how much would a payment be if I, you know, a $20,000 car or a $5,000 car over 5 years. Or maybe you have a small business and you're trying to figure out what people are saying about your business on social media. You could write your own code that would go out there and sort of collect tweets and get summaries and things for you. It's incredible how much you can do with code. Or I've actually seen applications where somebody used these new wearable devices that are out there now, this Internet of Things. So you could like program some sort of wearable device so it tweets you when it's time to reapply your sunscreen.
Yes.
That's all doable.
Yeah.
I've actually seen premises of, devices that'll tell you when to put your sunscreen on.
Exactly.
Really
Good. You know, automatically pick up the fact that you went for a run and automatically upload that to Facebook.
All those things comes back to problem solving with code. Now, why Python in particular? The reason we chose Python for this particular session is because there are a lot of programming languages out there.
And it's funny, like I'm looking through the Q&A right here, and there's like 3 questions about why Python? Why Python?
See? There we
go.
All
There you
right.
go.
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Funny you should mention that.
One of the reasons is Python is one of the easier programming languages to learn. It's actually becoming very popular. If you look at introduction to programming courses all over the place, you're seeing Python popping up more and more often. Some programming languages are extremely picky about syntax. And when you're just trying to learn the concepts and the basics of programming, you know, you've got enough to deal with without having to worry about every single space and comma that you put into the code. So Python's a little more forgiving than some of the other languages. The other advantage, lots of free tools out there you can use to code or learn Python. We're going to use Visual Studio with the Python tools for Visual Studio, specifically Visual Studio Express 2013 will work, so you can absolutely do it for free with the same tools we have here. But the fact that it's free, right? Because you don't have to make an investment. You can start learning coding with Python without any cash investment. So lots of tools out there to do it. And a lot of different ways you can use Python code. It's got a lot of different applications.
Yeah.
I was really quite amazed. I actually started doing a little bit of research and had poked around with the Python stuff, but I hadn't really appreciated how much you could do with it. And the other thing I want to make clear is even though we're focusing on Python here, once you learn the basics of coding, you'll be able to reapply those concepts in all programming languages.
Exactly.
Whether it's C# or JavaScript or C++ or Perl, any programming language you learn in the future, those fundamentals are just going to reappear over and over and over again.
Exactly. Every single programming language has variables. Every single programming language has an if statement. And that could be something like PowerShell. That could be something like Perl. That could be something like JavaScript. It could be, you know, they all have the same thing. And so once you learn those concepts, then it's just a matter of, oh, okay, here I have a curly brace, or here I have an end if, or whatever it is that it happens to be for the language. But now all you're doing is you're just picking up a few keywords. You already understand the concepts. So that's really one of our main focuses is going to be on those concepts.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, I do want to make it clear, though, teaching you Python doesn't mean you're not learning a language that's useful unto itself.
Right.
You can do a lot with Python itself. I said I was actually doing a little bit of research and discovered Industrial Light and Magic, who made the Star Wars movies and so on. They actually use Python to help with their image processing when they're adding lighting and special effects.
Right.
So that's actually done using Python code.
Nice.
Forecastwatch.com uses Python on the back end to collect the information and to provide the information to provide a weather forecast. So that's done with Python. DevNet is one of those news sites, and they actually use Python to go out and collect different news information from different locations, aggregate that information together, and provide it to somebody through Python.
Yeah.
And this one I thought was the most amazing one. There was actually a student in England who was having some fun. There was a class of high school students. They were learning how to code using Python. And they set up a dinosaur and installed a little speaker in this plastic dinosaur and set up a Python program. So every time you tweeted a certain word, the little dinosaur would light up and roar.
Yeah.
You got to have fun with coding.
Absolutely. You got to have a good time.
And if you do download the deck and you click on that link, you can see a video of the little dinosaur roaring.
And actually, one little thing to kind of keep going with all of this and go back to the, why Python, and you touched on it real briefly, is, Python, one of the nice things about Python is there's a lot of things that it can do for you very simply, and there's a lot that you don't have to worry about. That there was a couple of questions in the chat window about dealing with things like memory management, and yes, there's going to be a day and a time where you'll have to go in and start worrying about all of that. Today's not that day. Right now is not that time. And the great thing is with Python, we really don't have to worry about that, or at least not for what we're going to be doing.
No, not.
So we're really trying to keep this as simple as possible. And kind of eliminate barriers.
Yes. Lower the barrier.
Exactly.
It is lowering the barrier.
Yeah, lowering the barrier to entry. That's really our big goal here.
Yeah. So I do want to make one thing very clear. If we can just go back to the slide for a second. You aren't going to learn enough in this 2-day course to start adding special effects to the next big superhero movie.
Now you tell me.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But you will learn enough to be able to start solving real world problems with code. So that you will do. So, and hopefully you'll start having fun, because that's why we code.
Yeah.
I chose it as a career because I like coding. It is actually kind of fun once you get into it. Yes, there are moments you kind of want to bang your head against a wall because you can't figure out your little typing mistake. But, you step away, you come back, go find a coffee if you need to.
Yes.
Yeah.